Have you ever looked into the eyes of a man, trusted his words, only to later discover it was all a lie? If you've ever felt the stink of betrayal, you're not alone. Today, we are pulling back the curtains on why some men are saying their fellow men can't be trusted. But before we get right into that, let's take a moment and listen to women share their story of betrayal from men.
Caught my husband cheating. I remember it felt like my whole world had came to a complete stop. It felt like my whole world had ended. I was pregnant. I had recently moved to a new location. I was in a new city. I was just in a state of shock. And being pregnant, going through infidelity and cheating, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And I just remember the whole room closing in on me and how small I felt. It wasn't a good feeling. It just felt like my whole family, everything was just a lie. And I remember questioning my own self-worth. Like, what did I do for my husband to be unfaithful to me at the beginning of our marriage? Something that's supposed to be sacred.
I was in therapy with Craig. Craig revealed to me that he'd been unfaithful to me our entire marriage. In less of a relationship way and more of like a serial one-night stand kind of way. I was like, I'm everything I've ever wanted to be now. A mom, and I'm a friend, and I'm a career woman, and now, and I'm a relationships expert. So how the hell am I going to be that anymore? Like, I didn't even know my own relationship, you know? I think because women, we define ourselves so much by our roles. I did not know what to do with myself in the morning. Like, I didn't know if I'm not a mom, if I'm not, my kids fell apart, all of it. The way this life is designed is that the only things you need are the very things that can never be taken from you. So it's sad for me that I've been to this individual rock bottom and marriage rock bottom, but oh my God, I wouldn't change any of it because I'm just not freaking scared anymore.
That was sad. How can you cheat on a pregnant woman? How can you cheat on a woman you left in that vulnerable state? Man, some men are heartless. The other lady speaking of her husband cheating on her the entire marriage. Oh my goodness. Men are unbelievable. Hello fam, how you all doing? Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Thanks a lot for your support. Trust is the foundation of love, commitment, and relationship. But in a world where many women are constantly being let down by men, I'm curious to know, what exactly are men doing? Why can't some men be trusted? Or should I say, why can't all men be trusted? Because as it is right now, you don't really know, even the one that you might think you trust might not really be deserving of that trust. So why is it that way? What is so hard for men to be trusted? Why can't they be reliable and dependable? Let's have a closer look at the confession of some men admitting that men can't be trusted. Let's listen to their wives and what we can do moving forward.
Never trust a man who doesn't love his wife. And some of you women are going up with men who married. You crazy? You think he loves you? He never gave you a ring. The one he gave the ring to, he cheating on her, so you know he don't love you. Don't be a fool. He hates himself. I just wonder how stupid we can be to believe the guy. He telling you he love you and he got a wife. You know he lying, and you so stupid, not you, the other person next to you. You are so stupid, you believe the guy. He hates himself. That's why he can't love anybody.
Number one point is the fear of vulnerability. The society discourages men from being expressive, from showing emotions. They target being weak. And if a man publicly cries or shows emotions, he's most likely to get backlash from his fellow men, and they are most likely to tag him a weak man. Men don't cry, man up, clean up your tears. What are people going to say? You know, all them talk. So because of that, according to men, men are keeping their emotions by themselves, and that in a way giving them room to lie and hide things from women. Does that ever make sense? Let's say it does make sense. According to some men, being open feels like a risk. Instead of them coming out and being expressive, exposing their feelings, they rather hide, lie, or choose not to have that conversation, because to them, having such conversation would mean them being weak to women. You would often hear men say they would rather keep things to themselves, hide things from women, lie to women, because in their head they think if they should tell their women about whatever they're passing through, that might lead to her losing respect for them, so they would rather lie than be open.
One of the things that we don't talk about culturally is that a lot of women do not know how to be with or receive or see a man's vulnerabilities. For a lot of women, it's very frightening. It's foreign. Imagine being a woman who grew up around a grandfather and a father who never cried, who never opened up, who never talked about their feelings. And then all of a sudden, here's your husband or here's your boyfriend opening up, spilling his guts out emotionally, crying in front of you. And you're just like, what do I do with this? You know? And so I've heard pretty bad stories where men have opened up to their girlfriends and all of a sudden 2 months later, their relationship's over, or the sexual attraction's gone, or the conversations suddenly get stilted.
Showing weakness can be a strength too.
Vulnerability, not weakness. To admit to the fact that you're vulnerable, that's a whole different thing. That's a form of courage. It isn't some facade that you're invulnerable. No one is invulnerable by any stretch of the imagination. And to stand up and face that is the best route that you have.
Do you think ladies that break up with men that are expressive emotionally, do you think they leave them because of the fact that they are vulnerable and they cry, they show weakness? Do you think that's the reason they leave? I understand the point he made that some women grew up around men that never showed tears, cried, showed weakness and all that. Yeah, and to those women, it's still part of the conditioning we'll be talking about. Those women have been conditioned that men are not supposed to show weakness, and they get frightened when they see men do that. I acknowledge that. It happens. It's possible. It's happening to some people. But I don't think that is the general case, because from what I have observed, a lot of women out there are happy to see their men show emotions, and they're happy to be there for their men, because a lot of women, we've been conditioned to be nurturers. Although we are nurturers, but we've been more conditioned to take on that role, and a lot of women are happy being there for their men. Men out there should know that the constant suppression of their emotions will definitely lead to dishonesty in relationships, and it will make their partner not to trust them. Vulnerability should be seen as strength, not weakness. And I understand that a lot of men out there, they are scared of being vulnerable for reasons best known to them. The second point is the thrill of the chase. Men are not to be trusted because men out there, a good number of men out there, they enjoy the chase. They are not coming to you because they want to be with you. They're not coming to you because they want to date you. They're coming to you because they enjoy the chase. They love it. Once they've gotten you, they will move on to the next person. So because of this, they are not to be trusted because you don't know their real intention towards you. You often hear some men say they were in for the chase. Once they felt like they had gotten the woman, they started feeling bored. They had to look for the next woman to chase. They were not in there for the trust, but just to win.
Sometimes you got to know that a man that doesn't have a plan, he's trying to toy with you. That's the difference between a man that chases and pursue. A man that's just chasing you is doing it for sport. A man that's pursuing you is doing that because he's looking for a wife. He ain't coming to go with the flow. He moved different, yo. This man is planning dates in advance. He ain't hitting you up at 2 a.m. talking about you up. And what I'm saying is, sometimes when you go with the flow, you lose sight of yourself. How many of you all have lost yourself in these situationships trying to figure out where he going, but where he ain't going is to a relationship. The only place he going is to your bed at night. He ain't going to no altar. He ain't going to your father asking for your hand in marriage. Where's he trying to go if he's saying, I'm going with the flow? Oftentimes the flow mean in between your legs. Oftentimes the flow mean I want to leech from you. Let me tell you something. A man with a plan ain't going with the flow. He is a leader when it comes to dating.
Why guys love to chase. Stay for the whole video. I'm going to give you an analogy that will better help you understand how to inspire that in a guy. Let's imagine you're a child and you rush down the stairs because you're hungry and ready to eat something. When you get downstairs, you see me, your parent, okay? And I tell you, I'm going out real quick. There's lots of food in the fridge. You can eat anything that your heart desires. Absolutely anything that's in the fridge. So you're going to go through the fridge and you're going to pick something you like, and you're going to probably toss to the side the stuff that you don't like. Now, in the second scenario, I want you to imagine you rush down the stairs and I'm there again telling you that I'm about to go out and you can have anything in the fridge. There's lots of food. I bought tons of food from all these different places. Anything you like, you can have that's in the fridge, except You cannot eat the chocolate chip cookies that are sitting in the cookie jar on top of the fridge. Anything else in the fridge, on the stove, in the cupboards is free to you. When everything was available to you, there was nothing in particular that your mind focused on or thought about being in that fridge. But as soon as I tell you the one thing you can't have, that was the first thing and only thing your mind was able to focus on. And see, you didn't think about the chocolate chip cookies because of how good they are. You don't know how good they are. They could be even worse than the other cookies that are sitting in the cupboard that are readily available to you and you're allowed to eat. But what makes you want those cookies on the top of the cookie jar is that they're more intriguing. See, you've made the mistake of thinking that the guys are chasing the girls who are the most beautiful. It's not about being the most beautiful. It's about being the most intriguing.
So men out there, relationship is all about games. You're in there to win. In the process of wanting to win, they end up leaving traces of broken hearts and shattered trust. Of course, they really don't care. But we know how karma works. The next reason why men can't be trusted is the fact that some of them are emotionally unavailable. Many men out there are emotionally unavailable in relationships, and some of them have admitted to the fact that they are emotionally unavailable, and they said while in a relationship with your partner, they are just there physically, while your emotions, they've locked it up and thrown the key away without granting entrance to anyone. And according to them, this behavior usually leaves their partner disconnected and confused. A man being emotionally unavailable in a relationship creates room for dishonesty because it makes it so easy for a man to go out there and cheat. The man can easily lie because he has no emotional connection. He becomes a wood that has no emotions, no feelings towards anyone. He can sleep numerous women, lie as much as he wants to lie because he doesn't have any iota of feelings towards the people he's hurting. He can't feel it because he now has a stone cold heart. He has locked up his emotions, so it makes it so easy for the man to be dishonest in the relationship.
When a man seems emotionally unavailable, he lacks commitment, leaves you feeling confused. I want you to be honest with yourself, okay? And think about this. Imagine if his favorite celebrity, okay, whatever actress he likes or musician, would call him today and tell him, hey, I want to be with you. I think you're the perfect man. What do you think his response would be? Do you think he would be emotionally unavailable for her? Do you think he would give her mixed signals, be indecisive? Nah.
If you're emotionally unavailable, stay out of the dating world. Don't go out there pulling on people's heartstrings, making them think that you want something, making them think that there's a true connection there, and then just pulling the rug from under their feet. If you're emotionally unavailable, work on yourself. Fix yourself. Fix the wounds that made you so emotionally unavailable. Because if you continue to stay emotionally unavailable but continue to date, you're going to leave nothing but a trail of heartache and pain along the way. True, long-lasting relationships require emotional availability. And if you're not able to do that, or not willing to, you're just using people. And that isn't right.
Let's talk about men saying another reason why men shouldn't be trusted is peer pressure and toxic masculinity. Peer pressure and toxic masculinity does play a huge role in our society. I can remember making a video in the past where I spoke about toxic masculinity and how damaging it can be. With toxic masculinity, men are being taught to see women as conquest. So it's like a hunter hunting a game. They are after conquering women. They see women as objects to conquer. Having a lot of men out there think this way, it makes it difficult for women to want to trust men because it becomes hard to tell if the man coming after you is coming to conquer you. Does he see you as a conquest or does he truly care about you? Speaking of the peer pressure, some men get in groups and they dare themselves to go after women and sleep with a good number of women just to prove a point. Having that in play, it makes it also hard for women to tell if the men coming for them are real, and it makes it hard to trust them. So I understand men pointing this out and saying these are reasons why you shouldn't trust men, because it does make a whole lot of sense. We have a lot of boys, a man's body. These days, the dating pool is messed up. So it makes it difficult to really tell if men's intention are truly what they are portraying to women. Some men might be speaking with the other side of their mouth and just mean something else. So it's really hard.
Men and women are not the same. Women like attention. Men want sex. So my thing is, a man is capable
of having sex with other women while still loving his girl the same.
You're actually saying that in a relationship, it's okay for men to go and explore other options, but we have to be happy with you and not explore options.
Absolutely. Closed on your end, open on my end, and I spoke this should be honest between the two.
Why would anyone agree to that?
You can't just go throwing that thing around. I spoke to Dan Balserian. Yeah, I'm sick of you asking to finish your long, boring answers that are the same answer every time we ask you a question. Even Dan Balserian last week told me to my face, so fucking what, clown? Here you are on the show. I can turn you off as well. Just turn these clowns off. See you fellas, grow up, bring us back when you're 30 and you've got half a brain. You're not running around being led by your own dicks. Bye-bye. See you later. Turn them off.
Myron of the Fit and Fitness got exactly what he deserves. Myron and his cohorts are always spewing gibberish, if not most of the time. Most of the time, I don't know where they get those ladies they bring to their podcast, because most of the time when you're spewing gibberish, those ladies are always in agreement with what they're saying. I'm so happy to have this man. Give it to him. And he has this toxic masculinity mindset, and that's the reason I brought his clip here. After the toxic masculinity talk, he strongly believes that women are supposed to act in a certain way and men are supposed to rule. It's okay for a man to cheat. It's okay for a man to be angry. Like, whenever he speaks, it's like he has anger towards women. He's always upset. I don't know what women did to him in his past. I don't know how his family background is. But whenever he speaks about women, there's this anger that jumps out of him whenever he's speaking about women. I think he needs some therapy, and he really, truly does need some healing as well. Another reason why men are saying women shouldn't trust men is because some men are living double life. Are you aware that a good number of men are living double life? I'm talking about the double life. You're going to have a family in a city, then you have another family in a different place. I think I've made a video about this in the past. The story was about this woman that had a family. She got with this man when she was 22. Some years later, she found out that the man had another family, and she had worked so hard to pay the man's tuition fee. She even took student loan on behalf of that man. No, not student loan. She took a loan on behalf of the man to pay the man's fee, while the man was taking the money from her to go sponsor his other family. A lot of men out there are living double life, and this is one of the reasons we can't trust them. They might play the card so good, like so good that you wouldn't even see traces. You would think you're the only person, your family is the only family, your kids are the only kids. But shockingly, he has another kid, another family, and those people are also thinking the way you're thinking. So men are good at playing this card. A lot of Nigerian men, especially those in the diaspora, they play this card very well. So it's difficult to trust men. Even those ones that may seem so perfect. Oh, this is my bone of my bone, my soulmate. You don't really know what they have up their sleeves. Should I even talk about those narcissists that they have double life? They are good outside and bad to the women inside. That's also having a double life.
Listen, anytime you find a guy who seems to be a good catch, nice guy, nice public persona, decent job, seems to handle himself and carry himself a certain kind of way, but he never can seem to keep a woman, always struggling to hold on to a woman. What you'll find out most of the time is that this guy is one person in public, but he's a completely different person in private. And nobody knows that except the women who have dared to try to love him in the past. In the public, he's nice, hardworking, kind, and considerate. In private, he's selfish, insecure, and inconsiderate. Nobody knows this except the women that he spends some time with. And so you have to watch that guy, because a lot of guys live double lives. They live double lives. They live lives that are so differently in public and in private that if the public people were to hear the private people tell them about who this guy really is, the people in public would never even be able to fathom it. You have to watch that kind of guy.
There's Dusty Thunder again with another story from Reddit for you. This one actually comes from Best of Redditor Updates, and it is titled, "My Husband Has a Second Family." The ultimate cliche has happened in my life, and I'm absolutely broken. My husband, my rock, has been having an affair for over 17 years. Go ahead and start this off right now. We have been married for over 25 years. We have 3 beautiful children, 2 in college and 1 who still lives at home. But it turns out he's had another set this whole time. of kids? Oh, no. My husband is an insurance broker. He has multiple branches over the country, which he spends week on, week off. Turns out his week off, he's been with his other family in Albuquerque, where his other branch is. He's got a fiance whom he has 2 kids with, both in their early teens. I found out when I went to make a new Facebook account, and when I searched my husband's first name, another profile with another last name popped up. And through that profile were links to his fiance's and other kids' Facebooks. My husband is currently with said family, and I know it's him because his most recent post is a photo of him and that other family eating dinner. Among those photos were photos of him kissing the girl and him being fatherly with kids who look nearly identical to my husband. I am absolutely broken. Almost every part of me wants to scream in his face and reprimand him for ruining my life, but another part of me wants to pretend to be ignorant and let it be, because our life is peaceful. He's good with our kids. He's the main source of financial income. He's loving, but he's also all of those things to another family. Not only would I be tearing a gaping hole into my family, I'd be opening up a vortex for them too. My heart is in shambles. I've never cried so much in my life. My youngest son is currently on a graduation trip with friends, and I'm alone till my lying, cheating bastard husband comes home. My life is absolutely wrecked.
I'm sorry I couldn't play all of his video here. Please head on to his TikTok page to watch the rest of it. The video is about 7 minutes or thereabouts. Please go over there to watch the rest of it. Please feel free to share with us your story in the comment section. Has a man betrayed you in relationship, marriage, in any way? Go ahead and share with us in the comment section. This community is for everyone to learn. I don't know your story. Your story might inspire me. Your story might help me. Your story might help someone reading the comments, because people enjoy going to the comment section to read people's stories. So someone might be needing your story. Please don't hold back. Share your story with us. Thank you so much. If you would love to watch a video on how men are refusing to let go of women they're not interested in, they just want to keep lurking around and hunting the women, click this video here, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.